Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to today's video. It's a little echoey in here, so apologies. I still don't have a rug in this room, but I wanted to go over all of the books that I read in the month of September before October is over and I have to do 2 months again. So apologies for the delay per usual. Let's go ahead and get started into all of the books that I read in the month of September and whether I like them, whether I'd recommend them, whether I would not. Let's start off with what I was supposed to read according to my TBR. We didn't do the best, I'll be honest. So the first one that I was supposed to read was Tale of the Heart Queen by Nisha Tully. I did not read this. It's actually right here still. It's the fourth book in a series that has 4 books total. So I had previously read 1 through 3, probably like this time last year. And I wanted to give the book like what it could get from me. So I decided to reread the series. And so I did actually reread book 1 and I have since finished book 2 and I'm currently on book 3. And I'm gonna try to not read any romantasy until I finish off that series because I just wanna finish it and I really like the story, but I wanna like give it the best it can have. And so I decided to just restart the series instead of reading that one. Intermezzo was the next book that I was supposed to read. I still have not read that. That is rolled over into October. I don't know if I'll be able to start it this month. I'm gonna guess maybe I'll start it, but I definitely won't finish it in October. Today's the 22nd and I have finished 4 books so far and I'm in the middle of 3 others. So I don't think I'm gonna be getting to finish Intermezzo, but it is on my list still. Off Armageddon Reef by David Weber. I did not read this one. That was supposed to be a reread. I just didn't get to it. It's a very long book. My Killer Vacation, I did start and I DNF'd it. It was my book club book. It's by Tessa Bailey and it was not for me. I read about 50 pages and decided, you know, I'm not gonna be able to make the book club meeting anyway, and no one has said that they liked it. And I feel like because it's book club, I should have at least tried to finish it, but it was really painful. It was very like the things that the people were thinking in their heads, people just don't think that way. It was really unrealistic. And I later found out that Tessa Bailey's publisher didn't want to publish it. So she had to publish it herself, which was not a good sign. So didn't read it. I mean, I started it, I DNF'd it. I don't DNF a lot, but that one I couldn't do it. Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales, that was supposed to finish off the Emily Wilde's Encyclopedia of Fairies trilogy, but I did not get to that one. Verity by Colleen Hoover, again, I didn't get to it. Reasons to Stay Alive by Matt Haig, didn't read it. And then Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard, I actually did read, and we will talk about that one once we actually get through. But as you can see, I really did fail my September TBR. My October TBR is not going any better. I don't believe I've even started any of them. It's not even written down. I don't know. I think the stack is still the same as it was when I started. So I have a lot of rollover books. That's my problem. Okay, but let's actually go ahead and talk about the books that I did read in September. We'll start off with the first one that I actually finished, which was The Housemaid by Frida McFadden. What's happened with my TBR is that, I don't know if you guys follow this, but on Goodreads, there's all these bookmarks that you can earn. And I am obsessive about earning every single bookmark. And so if there's a book that I need to read to get a bookmark before the time is over, I have to do it. So that's what happened with The Housemaid. Now, I gave this 5 stars. Kind of surprising because I thought it was gonna be really, really hyped up and that I wouldn't like it, but turns out I do like psychological thrillers. I thought this was great. I kind of guessed what was gonna happen. The ending was wait, what? I thought it was overall just a really good, gripping book. It didn't take me too long to finish, I don't think. And I thought it was really, really good, honestly. The hype is real on this one. I don't know how I feel about the casting of Sydney Sweeney and the girl from Mean Girls. She's a much bigger actor than Sydney Sweeney, and I don't know her name. You guys all know who it is. Anyway, but she is playing the woman, and then Sydney Sweeney's playing the housemaid, which I guess can see it, whatever. I don't know. I'm interested to see the movie. I definitely want to see it, but I don't know how it's going to be, but the book I really liked. I do want to continue the series, although a lot of my friends have continued the series and they said that it wasn't as good. So we'll see. If it comes up, I'll finish it. I'll continue the series, but I'm not like in a hurry to. But I did give it 5 stars. I thought it was really good, but some people have kind of like taken me off of continuing the series. But I guess if I really like the first one, I should continue it, but whatever. The next book that I finished in the month of September was A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping. I gave this 2.75 stars. I just didn't really relate to the characters at all, and I didn't really care about the characters at all. I really like cozy fantasy. I think I prefer more like romantasy or epic fantasy to cozy. I did really like the Emily Wilde series so far, but this one, I just didn't really care about the characters at all. I found some of them kind of annoying. The main character, Sarah, was, I don't know, it was a lot of like feeling bad for herself and not really trying to fix her situation, and I just didn't really connect with her at all. So that's the main reason of giving it 2.75 stars. The writing was fine, I think. The plot was, I just didn't care about it. I really struggled to finish this book. So I don't think I'll be picking up the other book by this author that people really liked. I think it's like The Irregular Witches or something like that. I thought maybe if I liked this one, I would go back and read that one, but I don't think that's gonna happen. Yeah, there just really wasn't anything that I was like crazy about in this one. I don't know if that makes sense. I just didn't really like it. Sometimes you just don't like a book, and I think that's fair. The next book that I finished, Julie Chan Was Dead. This was by, I don't remember, but I'll put it on the screen right now. Julie Chan Is Dead. So this book was very weird. It was like Yellowface. So basically the premise of the book is that there's 2 twins, they're separated at birth. One is adopted, one has to go live with the aunt. And because the adopted family only wanted to take one baby. So they grow up very differently. And one becomes like this huge influencer. One night the influencer calls her sister, and that leads the sister to go to her house in New York City, finds that she has passed away, and then assumes her life. So it's kind of like in Yellowface like that. If you've read Yellowface, someone steals someone else's work and then publishes it as their own. So it's kind of like that, but then it took a turn, okay? It took a turn that I was not expecting, and I did not like it. I felt like it was shock for shock value. Like it was basically Yellowface until it was like, I don't even like cults and like murder mystery. It was weird. I didn't like it. I thought that I gave it 2.5 stars. I thought like, okay, it was like gripping enough, but I wouldn't I would even probably downgrade this to like a 2-star. It was not very good. It was very confusing and weird, and like the beginning of the book and the end of the book did not mash together at all. Like the concepts just got lost along the way of shock value. It was not for me. And I would not recommend anyone to read that book, unfortunately. The next one that I finished was a little bit better. I gave it 4 stars. This was Annie Bot. Annie Bot was more of a short story. I believe it was around 200 pages. It wasn't a short story. I mean, it's like a novella. And it is about a robot who gets to become more sentient. Very Murderbot Diaries, but more in like the sense of the function of Annie Bot. So she's kind of like a sex robot. And it's basically her whole relationship with her owner, Doug, and what kind of relationship they have, how he treats her, what she thinks about herself, and then like what happens after that. It's obviously supposed to be about like mental, physical, and emotional abuse in relationships, and how men sometimes treat women that way. But they had her just be a robot to make it a little bit more extreme, which I think was interesting. It was definitely, it's more of like a science fiction-y near future type thing in New York City. And like, just like mostly the emotional abuse that this robot has to like feel but doesn't know how to process because she's a robot, and she like knows that these things shouldn't be happening to her, but she's a robot, so she doesn't quite have all of the like feelings that she should. Yeah, it's just like kind of the evolution of her from when she was purchased by Doug and then to the end of the book. And yeah, honestly, I was hoping something else would happen in the end, and it didn't, or it would have been like a higher than a 4-star. But that's, you know, just because I want someone to die doesn't mean they have to. It's the Game of Thrones effect, I call it. So I thought that was a pretty good one. It was a nice little novella. It was bright pink cover, which I thought was cool. I was able to use it for Herkyed for pink. I don't have a lot of pink books, although I guess this one is pink, but I used it for, I think, new release and for the Fox. Although maybe I should actually, there's an undead creature in here, but I don't know. I'm sure I can find something else with undead. Anyway, that was the next book that I read. The next one was another physical book that I actually read. I read a lot on my Kindle in September. I'm not really sure why, but I did. Red Queen by Victoria Aveyard. This was the only book on my TBR that I actually finished. Go me. I liked this. I thought it was pretty good. It is a 5-book series, so there's 4 books and then a novellas after, which I didn't know if I should read the novellas first or if I should read them second. So I purchased it, and then I kind of just decided at the end that I should read all of the books and then read the novellas. So this is the novellas. Oh wait, yeah, it's a 4-book series plus the novellas at the end. There's like 3 or 4 in here. So I'll read those at the end, but I thought this was pretty good. I gave it 4 stars. It's a YA romantasy about a girl who, you know, the world is divided. It's a dystopian between people with power and people without power. So it's like the Reds and the Silvers, I think. Yeah, I think the Silvers. Silver elite, yeah. People who are Reds are not supposed to have powers, and she somehow gets them. And then it's basically like the royal family trying to figure out what happened, and things ensue from there. She gets betrothed to one of the brothers, and romance and all of these things, and betrayal. And I thought it was good. I mean, I hear it's the same concept as Fearless, which is that Lauren Roberts trilogy, but I haven't read that myself, and I know that this was written first, so I was more interested in Red Queen than Fearless, although I guess I'd be more interested now if she does end up having powers in that book, but I didn't think about that. But anyway, yeah, I thought this was good. I'll definitely continue the series. I have the next one on my shelf right here, Glass Sword, for whenever that comes up. I would really like to finish the Trial of the Sun Queen series first, Artifacts of Renos, before diving in more with this, because it's kind of like a similar concept of a girl trying to save the world kind of thing, and I don't want to get them mixed up. But I did really like this, and I will continue with the series. I'll probably end up finishing it, unless the next books are like actual garbage. I will finish that probably. Okay, next book that I read. Ooh, I have 2 5 stars left. So I had some really lows this month and some really highs. So the next one that I read was another psychological thriller, Pines, by Blake Crouch. Now, I had read Dark Matter by him, and I really liked it. It is too far away for me to reach to show you guys, but it is on my shelf somewhere. Unless my boyfriend, oh, it's right here. Let's see if I can reach it again. Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. So I read that earlier in the year. That was a book club pick, and I really liked it. Pines, I loved. And another psychological thriller. So it's about a, I believe, FBI agent who goes into this place called Wayward Pines, and there's a show based off of this as well. So if you've seen it, it's based off of these books, or if you didn't know you've read the books, want to watch the show, I might do that. I also really want to watch the show Dark Matter, but that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about Pines. It's the first in a trilogy of a psychological thrillers where this CIA agent or FBI agent, I think FBI, or no, he's Secret Service. I think he's Secret Service, actually. Something along those lines. He goes into this town to look for his comrades who haven't come back. And he finds them, and it's not what he expected. And he has trouble leaving, and all of these weird things happen to him. He's involved in a car accident, and they are trying to like you know, convince him that he's crazy. And it's just like a very wild ride, and I really, really liked it. I read this book because I was waiting in line at Met Stadium and I needed to read. So I was like just bored and hot, and so it's City Field. I was bored and hot, and I was like, I need to distract myself. So, hey babe, can you pick a number 1 through whatever 7 that I had on my phone? And he picked one, and then I started reading Pines, and I loved it. So I'm really glad that I like just didn't have anything downloaded to my phone through Kindle, because I had purchased this a while ago. I do own the second one. I don't own the third one yet, but I will definitely. But I rated it 5 stars. I thought it was a really good read, and it was like very interesting. And if you like psychological thrillers, this one is probably a good way to go. And then the last book that I finished was the first book in the Artifacts of Eranos trilogy. No, not trilogy. There's 4 of them. I had read this last year and really liked it. I read them in the month of October, actually. I was thinking about, I read like 10 books last October. I've only read 4 this month, and my life is completely the same. Well, it's not completely the same. I have some theories. I'll share that next month. But yeah, I loved it again. It was very nostalgic. It is basically a woman is in prison. She gets pulled out to compete in these trials to become the Sun Queen. So it's like The Bachelor and the Hunger Games together. And you don't have to die if you lose, but usually you could die. And so it's basically like her story uncovering of why she's in prison, and then also trying to hide her identity in more ways than one throughout the story. And then, you know, there's betrayals and twists and that kind of thing. And I thought it was really good. I definitely want to finish this series before I continue with Red Queen. But again, I really like this book. I thought, ooh, maybe I was just like on a high of nostalgia, but I actually really liked it. I still think it's a 5 star. The second one, I think I had rated like 4.5, and I think I'd keep it there actually. So we'll see if I continue to like these books as much as I did the first time around, but I think I will. So that is everything that I read in the month of September. So I read The Housemaid, which I gave 5 stars. A Witch's Guide to Magical Innkeeping, which I gave 2.75. Julie Chan is Dead, I gave 2.5. Honestly, probably could go lower. Annie Bot, which I gave 4 stars. If you want like a quick science fiction-y, like literary read, that's a good one. Red Queen, I gave 4 stars. And then Pines, 5 stars. And Trial of the Sun Queen for the second time for a reread. And I also gave 5 stars again. So that is everything that I read in the month of September. What did you guys read? Did you stick to your TBR? Because I clearly did not. And I'm not doing a good job of that this month, even though I had such a good October, like October-y TBR. I've not read 1 book from it. I haven't had a lot of time to read this month, to be honest with you guys. I think I've only finished 2 physical books. The other 2 are audio. I've been utilizing audio a lot. October is a very busy work month for me, and I traveled a lot. Wasn't home like for at least 7 out of the last 22 days I haven't been here. So it's hard to like keep up with the reading routine like that. But yeah, that is it. I will see you guys in my next one. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know, what do you guys want me to read back here? Because like there's a lot. I've kind of got it organized. Like these are still my 25 and 25, which I'm probably not going to finish that. These are books that are new or I want to read soon, sequels, new first books in series. And then I also have not read anything on these 3 shelves, but these 3 shelves I have. So we got a lot of books to read. And also I have a ton on my Kindle that I need to also get through. So I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in my next one. Now I'm just rambling. Bye.